Tonight's own Prime Edition, we speak to the Principal Secretary in charge of the ICT Ministry or the ICT Department. And of course, we talk so much about the digital superhighway and the vision by President William Ruto in terms of ensuring this country is moving forward in terms of the digital economy. And he joins us tonight. Karibu sana, PS. How are you doing?
Thank you, John. Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too. Transiting from Konza City into the Ministry of ICT. Tell us a bit about the transition and how you're settling in 100 days later.
I've been in Konza Technopolis for a number of years now. I joined there when the government had procured a space and with a dream to build the Silicon Savannah, benchmark with locations like the Silicon Valley, the North Carolina Research Triangle, and many other innovation places. So I've been part of the sector and the dream and the vision of the Ministry of ICT, now Ministry of ICT or Information, Communication and Digital Economy. And so moving from Konza was a continuation of some of the scope of work I've been doing, but now it's more wider, more institutions under the State Department, and also bigger role at the policy level. So it is as an ICT professional also, it's an opportunity and a privilege to be able to get a chance to be able to serve at this level, which is also quite demanding for me because much is also expected of me in this level.
And what would you say is your biggest legacy during your time at Konza?
I joined Konza when the project had been well branded, I would say well communicated in terms of the expectation, but in reality what we had at the ground was just the land procured. So some of the things we were able to do was to ensure that we align the activities with the expected mandate. The city is expected to contribute 2% of the national GDP. It's expected to create employment, especially in the digital and technology space. We expected to make Kenya position in globally in matters of innovation and technology. So we had to put the building blocks that will guide this journey to happen. So we built the first phase of the city, where we now had to get consultants to do for us the design. The master plan had been done, development guidelines had just started. So I was able to complete on the development guidelines of development of phase 1. We were able to onboard the design consultants who will now design a smart city with all the utilities that are required in place. We were able to bring in the contractor to work now on the phase 1 to ensure the horizontal infrastructure. That's ensuring there is a wastewater reclamation facility, there is water treatment facility, electrical distribution, the basic ICT infrastructure, and also to ensure we have the power. And also we have now moved to the other aspects of the city to be a smart city. So we were able to work with Ministry of ICT and locate one of the national data centers at Konza Technopolis, which is now operational, and also it's going to be the platform to make the city smart. When we talk of smart city, you are using ICT to make the city able to ride on technology to bring more value, efficiency, and more ease of living for the residents.
In the wisdom of His Excellency, the President, your predecessor was just dealing with the ICT department, so to say. Now the President has created the information, communication, and digital economy. Tell us exactly, for Kenyans to understand, what is the mandate of this department?
We are working on part of what was there, ICT, Information Communication Technology. So my role is to continue to promote the growth of information communication technology sector in this country, including even broadcasting, to ensure the development component is facilitated. We're also looking at now to address the issue of data, personal data protection and privacy, to ensure that is well adhered and complied with global standards. We're also working to ensure that we digitize government, enable government to move its services online. That's the e-government services. We're also looking at how to further grow the connectivity of our country, which is our biggest strength, is that we've done quite some work in terms of connectivity of our country to the global through the submarine cables. We've done also quite some good progress on the connectivity on the land through the backbone in our cities, through the metro, and some efforts now. We are building connectivity to sub-counties, we've done to counties, and we hope to reach now the ward. And so next level is now how do we create more value from this infrastructure, and that is where the digital economy component comes about, because how do we commercialize this infrastructure? How do we allow other services now to ride on this infrastructure? And this includes now e-commerce, for example. E-commerce will be a biggest beneficiary from this infrastructure. We're looking at also creative economy. They can ride on this infrastructure. We believe even also the traditional sectors, whether it's postal services, whether it's broadcasting services, can ride with these platforms.
You've talked about digitizing government services, PS. The directive by the president during your Nanyuki retreat was that every government department coordinates with your ministry to ensure that all the 5,000 government services are on e-citizen. Probably you can update us a bit on the progress made so far. I know it's just about a few weeks ago, but what is the progress so far?
We've made a good progress. The first thing was to look at what we have in place. There have been quite a number of services which were already online. We already had engagement with entities who are already involved in supporting government to move services online. First step was to see how do we structure a working arrangement, and this is one of the progress we've made to standardize our engagement with the partners. The other one is we've reached out to all the state departments in government to really unlock and know what are the services Mwananchi receives from all these government entities, so that we can work and have visibility on how we can actually automate and digitize all these whether records or services. So we've gain now more visibility of what services are there, and we are now building our capacity in terms of how many services we can now automate or digitalize within a week and a month. And this is what we are going to work on between now and the next 2 months, is to build our capacity and also open more opportunities for more players to come and help us in digitizing government.
Talking about the ICT, or what you say, Tech and Innovation Summit that happened during the Jamhuri Day weekend, the president speaking passionately about innovation and technology. First of all, begin by telling us what opportunities exist, particularly for the youth folk, through this agenda of tech and innovation.
First, the transition of economies over years has been guided by what we call the industrial revolutions. From the first industrial revolution, second, third, and what we are envisioning now, the ongoing fourth industrial revolution. We've missed as a country and a continent in the previous major transitions. Now what's happening is this fusion and convergence of technologies and a new space, even we can call it market space, which we call now digital space, where it is defining the future of work is really being redefined, because most of the works will be happening on the digital space. Many of our products will be able to engage and interact and buy through the digital space. So as a country, this presents a huge and interesting opportunity for us that we must reap, in terms of ensuring that we equip first our people with the skills to be able to gain the most through the what's available in the digital space. Secondly is to see the opportunities of jobs that will come from there, to see that how can we open, because we have a huge talent as a country, and it is now possible to access jobs from anywhere in the world, from wherever you are. And it makes sense to what we are doing. When we talk about connectivity and building additional 100,000 kilometers of fiber to our most remote locations, is to ensure that global opportunities can be accessed from anywhere in our country. So with the connectivity, you can be able to access. So His Excellency the President saw it fit to make the Jamhuri Day of 2022 have a special theme on innovation, and technology. And he was able to bring on board top technology companies to come to this country. And it was quite interesting to interact with them and to be able to engage and discuss and also market the most valuable resources we have in our country, which is our people. We are blessed with a very strong talent pool. And most of these technology companies are actually looking for talent. And we think we have the advantages they need. We have a population, a youthful population, well trained with the basics. We have good language, English, because it's one of the most required languages in the digital space. And also our geographic location also offers an advantage. And when you compare our country with other countries like India, some countries in South America, they enjoy a lot of opportunities, what we call IT-enabled services. You can be an IT support engineer based in Philippines and supporting systems in North America. We think Kenya has such an opportunity, and we think we can be able to access. So that program, which was initiated by His Excellency the President, really opened these opportunities for us, because we were able to engage now with top technology companies here in the country. And we also had a chance that His Excellency the President went also to US during that period, and we were able to meet top technology companies, talk of Microsoft, Visa, Oracle, and many others. We had also Facebook, and so we are able to not only be consumers of these technologies, but we can participate in development of these applications. We are happy that Microsoft has set up a base here in Kenya, employing 400 engineers. As an ICT person, it's one of the best privileges to be part of a core team that makes products not only to be consumed in your country, but products to be consumed all over the world. And it actually enables our people to have potentials that tomorrow we can develop new applications and what they call spin-offs or businesses that are high-tech.
Let's talk about data protection, PS, and I'm sure you've heard about these concerns even before you were PS, about government data or data captured by government from Kenyans being prone to abuse. What is your ministry doing to instill confidence amongst Kenyans that if your data is with government, then that data is safe?
One is, now we have laws that guide data privacy and data protection, and it obligates the various actors in the data process, from those who generate the data, those who process the data, those who store data, with obligations in which they must comply. And there's a lot of efforts being done by the Office of the Data Protection to ensure first there is good awareness that the users, the owners of data are made aware of importance of the information and the data they have, and what should they really release out there. It should be based on need and really what is necessary. And also the handlers of data and data processors are made aware of their obligations. So this helps to ensure the data is protected. We also looking at now going to have services, government services online, and also going to see that businesses can transact online, e-commerce. There are more things we need to do as a government to ensure that this is made efficient and safer. One is to ensure there is clarity on the digital identity, so that when you are engaging government, we are very clear who is engaging government. You as a person, the way you would go physically to an office, and you are very clear this is so and so, you are able to give your identification. We want also to make sure in the digital space, it's even better that when you identify yourself, we know this is so and so transacting and asking for these services, and is able to transact in this manner. Again, if this person wants to trade, is able to send products comfortably. So we are going to do much more to address the issue of digital identity. We're going to address the issue of national addressing system in the country, so that you are able to conveniently move goods from one point to another using a standardized information of locations of where to move goods from A to B using a national addressing system. So we've done a lot on data protection and privacy in terms of regulation, having institutions with the people to help us on that. We are going to do much more again to ensure that there is clarity on transactions, so that when you transact online, whether with government or business to business or individual to business, there is clarity who is this person, and there is no possibility that somebody can actually misrepresent to say I'm so and so and it's not that person.
Just like you've said, government is going to leverage on ICT a lot, obviously in the provision of government services. How would you respond to Kenyans out there who feel government can also be invasive through the search for data?
There is that concern. As a citizen, of course, everybody really wants their privacy respected, their personal information honored and kept securely, and technologies are there which are capable to secure that. So as a government, we are committed to ensure that we adopt the best technologies, we adopt the best protocols and standards in handling data. We have the laws in place to guide us, so government will lead in ensuring we do that. We're also going to ensure there is good training for our people at the various stages of interacting with this data to ensure they are aware of the risk, because as we move from the physical and manual to actually digital space, there are new challenges like cybersecurity and data privacy. So these are some of the areas that we are impacting on. One is to ensure we build capacities within our public institutions, we build awareness within the entire public space for all the actors to really know how to address these issues of data protection and privacy in terms of how do you reveal your data, because sometimes we are the ones who actually put our data out there without knowing what we are doing. We put ourselves at a risk, and that data can be used wrongly or used to mine more information about you, which brings more risk to you as an individual. So we think government has sufficient resources and tools to guarantee data protection and also ensure cybersecurity issues are addressed.
Piers, you've seen the number of online content being churned by youth in this country, and of course raking money out of it. During the summit, you had the president raise concern over probably some of the monies they're getting through these platforms. What is your ministry doing, obviously after that summit, to ensure that there is no form of exploitation on the Kenyan youth using these platforms to promote their content?
I think we've just scratched the surface when we talk about the digital space, the opportunities. Yeah, in terms of the opportunities, we've just scratched the surface. There is the creative sector, and they raise some of their concerns, monetizing their products and digital products on various platforms. This is something we'll work and engage the various players to see how value can be created for our people. But we've just described the surveys in respect with opportunities. When we compare ourselves with other countries, we have the potential, but we are yet to reach the level. If we talk about digital media, we have countries who are able to export games, digital games, which is a big industry. And now when we mention, so how many games are calling Kenya home? So you find we are yet to really scratch the surface. Entertainment, animations is a very big industry. And we have huge opportunities there. We also have media, the entire media industry, broadcasting, the what you watch on our TVs, whether it's film, whether it's adverts, where has it been developed, where has this been curated, post-production processing, do we have the facilities? So we are looking at how to really unlock that potential.
As we wind up, yes, what is that one thing that PS John Tanui wants to be remembered for while he's serving as the ICT PS?
When you ask about such a question, I look back in history, what this country has done. The country has really made great strides over the years. There is some of the milestones like connectivity, the first submarine cable, which was established by the Kenyan government in partnership with the private sector, and that connected us to the world, and we have others by the private sector. That was a major milestone that our country did. There's a team that came up with the Vision 2030 during the time of our former president, Mwai Kibaki. I think that was a major milestone that our country did to ensure that we build a long-term vision. And several projects that has come up is based on the Vision 2030, including Concert Technopolis, and some of the things we are doing now that it laid the foundation. And we've had technologies in the ICT sector that we've been able to move from 2G, 3G in the ICT sector, communication sector, and that's opened up our country in terms of communications. When you are in Nairobi, in terms of connectivity and enjoying the internet, it's as good as any other capital of the world, and these are some of the achievements. So what is the important thing next is how do we turn this connectivity now to value to our people? Some of the things I'm looking at to be impactful would be how do we bring some of our global players to position Kenya as part of the global technology locations. We have top companies locating their cloud infrastructure in certain regions. We would wish Kenya to be a beneficiary, and during my tenure that we can have some of these data centers, or they call it a zone located in Kenya, a cloud infrastructure that not only serves Kenya but serves the region and global. It will expose a lot of opportunities in the digital space to our people. I'm looking also to enhance what has just happened, seeing Microsoft have their development center here in Kenya with 400 people. How would wish to see 3,000 to 10,000 Kenyans involved in high-tech product development for global use. That's something I would want to see. I would want to see now with this connectivity, we are reaching every ward and creating 25,000 Wi-Fis to see how do we now create a e-commerce platform that can enable Kenyans transact and be able to make their products visible globally from wherever they are. And we are able to leverage and grow this economy, the e-commerce, through e-commerce. We're also looking at how do we grow the creative economy, because the digital products presents a huge opportunity for our country. So how do we ensure that we facilitate the creatives to use ICT and other technologies to be able to make their products available, not only in the country, but across the world?
In a minute, because you spoke about free Wi-Fi very quickly, do you have a projection when you expect to roll it out across the country? Because there are several spots that have been launched by the CS. What is your projection in terms of ensuring that there's free Wi-Fi cover in the country?
We are currently looking at various options to deploy. The way we've extended fiber to every county, we are going to look at how to extend also Wi-Fi in markets across the country. We're looking at bringing the various players, whether the Tier 1 telecom operators, there are those Tier 2 and Tier 3, and open these opportunities for more Kenyans to use. We have a fiber, the team's international fiber, which is on a portion of it is owned by the Kenyan government. We're looking at how do we commercialize it, how do we make it available so that this is the internet that will go to provide the free Wi-Fi across the country. We have already built over 9,500 kilometers of fiber. How do we commercialize that and leverage on it to provide those additional free Wi-Fi spots? And we think within 5 years we will have made a very significant progress. We developed what we call the country's digital master plan, and it has shown it's a 10-year program which actually brings all those programs into perspective. But we think within 5 years we will make a very significant progress as a country.
Thank you very much, PS. We appreciate your time.
Thank you. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Absolutely. We've been speaking to the Principal Secretary, Information Communication and Digital Economy, is a department under the Ministry of ICT and Digital Economy. And thank you very much once more for your time. That's how we put a cap on Prime Edition. Have yourself a fantastic evening.